But the one that is used most for these problems, like 10 to 15, would be this one. I think you may be familiar. It's called point slope. You could write this down if you want, okay? And the reason why it's called point slope is because M stands for slope, and x1, y1 would be a point. That means you can see number 10, the point will be 3, 1, the slope will be 2. You will be substituting M with 2, and we'll have a look. So if you're going to use the equation for number 10, go ahead, plug in your x1, y1, then we get x1, y1, okay, in order. So x is 3, x1 is 3, that would be 3 equals the slope, we're going from left to right now, is 2, x stays x, y, and x, you want to leave them alone, the x and y, but the x1, y1, you want to substitute it with those points. So, okay, I think you got this. And then the x would be, oops, I got them out of order. You notice, right? This is supposed to be, the y is 1. Sorry. My thing here.
I think the teacher wanted to...
Okay, well, don't tell me. I'm going to show you the other one that, you're right. I'll show you the other one. I think now, let me go ahead and plug this in. The reason why is because I'm going to actually kind of like be straightforward about it. This would be the most common one. I'll say that straight out. Now, I believe your teacher wants you to use slope-intercept. Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, I understand. Now, have you been shown this point slope before?
Not yet.
I see. So, okay, we're going to use this one, but I'll go ahead and do an alternative version of it so you can see what's happening right now. Guess what? If you distribute and then solve for y, it will look just like this. It's much faster. I think you can see. So, okay, let's do this one instead. So this is the one that your teacher wants you to do. No problem. But imagine if you continue with this. Let me just do it quickly, okay? So that we can confirm with the other one. So I distribute the 2 in right now. And we're going to get 6. And then I add both sides by 1. You see it? Now, I promise you, dude. I promise you. You will be wanting to use this one more so than this from the beginning. Okay? But right now, since your teacher hasn't taught you to, or allow you to use this, technically you could, but you haven't been taught. So don't break the rule. Your teacher may not like it. So we're gonna go with slope-intercept. Now the reason they call it slope-intercept is because you got M for slope again, and B is going to be your y-intercept, slope-intercept, but the intercept is your y-intercept. Is that okay? So slope-intercept, but it's really your y-intercept is what they're referring to. So slope-intercept. This is point slope. I'll do point slope. Watch. I'm gonna make a bet that you'll be using this right away next. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, after this one. But let's use slope-intercept. Now you're given. Look how awkward, right? I know I should not be criticizing the equation that you're learning and using. Sorry, gotta have a habit of doing that. 2, when I know one is better than the other. I think you understand. Okay, anyway, so we're gonna use this. All right, so let's plug in. This time you are gonna plug in x and y with the point they gave you. Is that okay? The x and y will be directly substituting. So this will be x, this will be y. So let's do it. So y is 1, m is 2, x is 3 plus b. So what's going on here is that you don't know b or your y-intercept. I hope you know that the b is y-intercept. So let's solve for b, which is your y-intercept. But then you reuse it. Okay, anyway, this is going to be 6, 1 plus b. Subtract both sides by, leave the b where it is. Yeah, don't do anything weird with that. So subtract both sides by 6. You get -5. So b equals -5. So keep that in mind. And now guess what? You're going to reuse this equation again, but you're not going to, you're going to leave the x and the y alone, except everything else you're going to use. The m still be the 2, x stays x, b will be -5. As you can see, it's the same answer. But you see how you're going around and around a little bit?
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is more direct and you get the answer immediately. All you do is just clean it up. So this is like you're going around to get the B and then reusing it again. So you're using it twice, technically. All right. I think you're good, but let's continue. You okay? You're familiar with it, right? Number 11.
Yeah.
So we're going to use y mx plus b again. So I'll go ahead and not copy the original. So let's go ahead and plug in your 4 for y. Your m is -1. And your x is going to be -1 plus b. Double check. Is that okay? Y,
Yeah.
m. Yeah. Okay. Solve. So -1 times -1. It's going to be +1 plus b. Subtract both sides by 1. Your b is now going to be 3. And then reuse that b. You're going to keep, you back substitute the b and the m, leaving the x and the y alone. The m still be -1. I'll just write negative x. This is -1 right here. And then plus 3. So b is +3. Oop, whatever. Not b, 3. There you go. Double check my work, okay? I think that's good. Okay, number 12. Okay, now anything you see with 0, it's going to make your work faster. X or y. Okay, let's substitute. I'll write it one more time. Y equals mx plus b, slope-intercept that you're going to use. So y will be 0, m will be 1, x will be 1 times solve for b. You're left with 1 plus b equals 0. Subtract both sides by 1. Your b will be -1. 0 minus 1 is -1. And then back substitute, leaving the x and the y alone. The m stay m being 1. I'm just going to write the m. The 1 is right there. We don't see a number in front. It's always times by 1. And your b is -1 plus -1. You can write plus -1 if you want. But of course, it's the same thing as -1. Is that okay? Yeah, I hope you're okay with that. Double check the slope. Yeah. Okay. You continue on. Yeah, I like that they have many problems for you to practice. 13.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the old days, they have so many problems redundantly. Okay, I'm sorry. One more time. Y equals mx plus b. Okay, it's right over here. Y will be 1. M is 8. X is 7 plus b. So you don't know what b is, so you're going to solve for b. 56, 8 times 7. Subtract both sides by 56. B equals -55. 1 minus 56 is -55. And then back substitute, leaving the x and the y alone. The m will stay 8. X and then minus 55 or plus -55, but minus 55. That's 13. And 14. You okay with that one?
Yeah.
Okay, 14. 2 comma 5. Y is 5. M is -2. X is 2 plus b. Y equals to x plus b. Solve for b. -4, 5 plus b. Add both sides by 4. So your b is 9, not 5, 9. And then back substitute again. Y stay y. M will still be -2 for number 14. X stays x. B will be 9, but plus 9. Don't want to write 9 because if you write 9 without the plus, or if you don't write the plus, then it'll be a times 9. You write it like right behind x. So let's don't do that. Anyway, you know that 14. That's the answer. 15. So x comma y, 2 So y is 6, slope is 2, x is 2, b, y-intercept. We'll solve for that. So 6, 2 times 2 is 4, plus b. Subtract both sides by 4. It'll be 2 for b. So back substitute. It'll be y, m is 2, the slope is 2, x stays x, plus 2. There you go. Now we'll come back for this, and I want to show you this some more. This point slope. But let's finish the one that you're supposed to. What is that again? The one away from this section.
So
wait, did you get that one? Yeah, you got it.
Yeah.
This is number 15.
It's 25 and 26.
Okay, 25 and 26. Write an equation of a line passing through the given point and has the given slope. So it'll be the same, but this time your slope are fractions. Okay, no problem. So I'll write the formula again. And for 25, is that right? We do 25?
Yeah.
So y will be 2, m will be 1/2. I recommend you parenthesize the multiplication, and you do 4 for x plus b. 1/2 of 4 is 2, or you can just go ahead and cross cancel, put a 1 underneath if you want. 2 can go into itself 1 time and 4 2 times. So 2 times 1 on top is 2 over 1, so it still be 2. But I recommend you, if you can think 1/2 of something, it's faster. 1/2 of 4, 1/2 times 4, so it's 2. Plus b, subtract both sides by 2, your b will be 0. That means you don't have b, but then back substitute. So your y stay y, your m will be 1/2. Your x is x. Your b is 0. You don't have to write 0. You could write 0, but yeah, you don't have to write 0. If it's something else, then you must write it. So the answer is y equals 1/2 x for 25. I'm sorry. Do we have to do more than 25 for this section?
We just have to do 26.
Okay, 25, 26. I'm sorry. Just 26, 25, 26. Got it. So ymx plus b again. Y is -2. M is 1/3. X is 3 plus b. Okay, 1/3 of 3 is 1. 1/3 of 3 is 1, but you can plus b, -2. You can also do this if you're not sure. 3, you can put a 1 underneath the 3. 3 can go into 3 1 time, itself 1 time. Then you got 1 times 1 on top over 1 times 1 on the bottom. Therefore, 1 divided by 1 is 1. I hope you're okay with that. So it's just going to be 1. Mm-hmm. Subtract both sides by 1 to isolate the b. You're left with -3 for b. So use ymx plus b again. Back substitute. Y stay y. M will be 1/3. X stays x. But this time you have b being a -3 or plus -3. So it's a -3. There you go. Is that it?
Yeah.
Is that it? Okay, now watch. I'm going to do a couple, not all of it, using this. The reason why, because I want you to be really exposed to it. Like you want to really, really get to know this one. In later math, especially, you never want... No, I take that back. It depends on the problem. Actually, since we have time, I want to actually show you a test problem for this particular concept. I'm not kidding. You'll see. It's like always going to be on the test 90% of the time to 99% of the time. But before we do, let me use this formula again for you to be set for later on. Yeah, most often it depends on the situation sometimes, but this is like 90%. I'll say it right now. After you learn it, you're always going to come back to it. But there's a situation where you if you recognize it, you can use y-mx plus b, and it'll be done in seconds. Sometimes it can be, but not a lot. Okay, it's rare, by the way, but you'll get problems that you can use y-mx plus b, and you can get it done really fast compared to this one. But that depends on whether you recognize the problem to be used with y-mx plus b or slope-intercept or not. If not, if you don't recognize it, this will always going to work 100% of the time. So let's see. For example, let's do 25 and 26 with the fraction. All right, take a look. All right, so I'm going to plug in, but the only thing I don't want you to get confused with is that this time you don't substitute x and y. Your point will be x1, y1 for 25, for example. Let me actually recopy 25. I know, but you don't forget you're doing that's interesting. They write slope with a little gap there. But anyway, slope of 1/2. It should write it like that. Okay. When you're going to use the point slope, this is point slope. This will be your x1, y1. x1, y1, sorry. x1, y1. x sub 1, x sub 1, y sub 1. So therefore, if I plug it in, have a look, okay? You will leave the x and the y alone this time. And your y1 will be 2. Your m is 1/2. I'm using this directly, okay, right here. X stays x, but your x1 will be 4. All right, if I continue, I distribute, it'll be 1/2 x, 1/2 of minus, or you can think 1/2 times -4 you want. I'll think minus. 1/2 times 4, minus first, it's 2. And you're left with y minus 2. You see that? Is that okay? Then you add both sides by 2. They cancel. Therefore, you're left with just y equals 1/2 x. Same answer for, where was that? For 25. Is that okay? Do you see that? Right, okay? Is that okay? Now, really, I highly recommend you kind of like look at this. It looks long, but you have a lot more than this for your future formulas that you're going to be having to know. Okay? So yeah. Now, let me talk about what can be done pretty fast. If you ever see this problem, a problem with the y-intercept as a point, let me have you look at this, okay? X comma y, right? Y-intercept means that your x is 0, but your y is some number. I'm making this up, okay? This is an example. And let's just say your slope is, your slope is 4. Now, have a look back, okay, at 25 and 26. You notice you don't have 0 for x, right? Now, could you scroll all the way back up to the section 10 to, was that 15 or something? 10 to 15. Notice you don't have 0 for x coordinate. You got 0 for y for number 12.
Yeah.
But that's not the same. This, if you didn't know, it's y-intercept. How do you know it's y or x-intercept? If I plot this, you can imagine it. Use your imagination. 0, comma 7, 0, comma 7, 0, comma 7, right there, somewhere up there. 7. Let's pretend that's high. 7 high. 0, 7. Yeah, you can imagine it. Use your imagination. What I mean is that this coordinate, it's literally your y-intercept. Y-intercept. What does that mean? It's your b. It is your b in your y equals mx plus b. See that? So what's the big deal? Well, if you're given a problem with y-intercept as a point, after you learn both of this, right? If you're given a point of a y-intercept that looks like this, 0 comma something, a number, you will always go for this one. It will be so much faster. Have a look. So I'm going to do the problem right now. I'm going to use this right now. So don't forget, you're going to plug in your x and y. So your y is 7. Your m is 0. Actually, let me do the fast way first. Let's don't do it like the way you were doing it, using y equals mx plus b. The answer will be exactly this. Take a look. If you're given a y-intercept, 0 comma number, this is how you can write the answer immediately. Take a look. The answer will be y equals m is 4, x b is 7. So this is the answer without showing any work, but I'm going to do the show of work in a second. Wait, do you want to look at it, Alex? You want to look at it one more time? So let me backtrack. Let me go again. If you're given a point of y-intercept, 0 comma a number, you could literally use this formula like this. Take a look. You don't have to plug in the x and the y. Just write the answer as y equals m, which is 4 right there. X is x, but b will be 7. This is done in one shot. Now I'm going to prove it. I'm going to use this like by substituting, like the long way that we were doing, number 10 to number 15. Have a look. So y, okay, y is 7, m is 4, and you got x being 0. You see that? X is 0 plus b. I'm solving for b like the way you were doing it. You okay, Alex? So I'm try to stay with me here. So if you get 0, 4 times 0 is 0, 7 on this side plus b. So your b is 7, as you can see. Then you got to go back and, back substitute, leave your x and the y alone, but the m is going to be 4, x plus 7. Look at that. All this work you don't have to do. If and only if you're given a point of a y-intercept. See that? Same answer. Okay, now do you have something else? It seems like besides this one, do you have the Alex practice thing that you can work on?
I don't think so.
Okay, that means you can stay with me longer because I want to show you some more. Wait, one more time, okay? If you're given a bunch of problems like 10 to 15 and you recognize one to be 0 coming for 0 being x and y being a number, you could jump right to the answer. Want to look at it? Because this is your b. Your number 7, your y is your b. So all you do is just put b, substitute b with 7 immediately. Is that okay? And then, and then go ahead and leave your x and the y alone, but use the slope being m. Is that okay? So you'll be done just like that. Again, if and only if you're given x being 0, not y, x being 0 and y being a number. Is that okay? X being 0. Yeah, you recognize that? So I'm pretty sure maybe one or two of your classmates will know this so that you don't have to actually go through this if you're given y-intercept as a point. Is that okay? Now, look at number 16 to 21. Now, we can go ahead right now. And I believe you may actually come back and do 16 to 21. I think maybe Thursday. And guess what you're going to use? We're going ahead here. You're going to be using this for sure. Right here. Is that okay? You're going to be using point slope. However, you still have to use the formula for m. Do you remember what the m formula is to find the slope for 16, for example?
Is it like rise over run?
Sure, but you're given, it is rise over run. But what if they gave you 2 points? How would you do that?
So you move how many spaces?
Okay, I see. You want to imagine plotting those points, right? And then rise and run it, right? Like, yeah. Okay, that works. But imagine you don't have time to plot those points. Okay, let me see. Do you remember this one? I think you do. In the Alex system, online practice, you can have it like this. You can have it the other way with the ones first. Do you recognize this?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
Wait, you sure? You were breaking your head over this online.
It's coming
Right?
back to me.
Okay, good. Now look, you can't get away from these stuff. through high school in math. Sorry to say. So I really want you to be exposed to this. You got to know them. I'm talking about. I'm not exaggerating either. Okay, pick one. It doesn't matter for the m, right? Y, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 or whatever. X, y, but y's on top. Y1 minus y2, x1 minus x2. And then you're going to need to know this. I promise, dude, listen to me, okay? You need to know that. And you're going to need to know this, which you already do. You already know it. So these things that I boxed, you got to have it down. Not exaggerating. Not just for this year, next year, and the year after, and the year after that. And if you're sticking with, let's say, math in college, you're going to need to use them again. No kidding. Yeah, if you're going to stay with math, you're going to have to come back and use this again. I know that you have time to be exposed to this by practicing your homework, but since I get the chance to guide you through this, I'm making an emphasis on these ones that it's going to be important, that you will need to know, and you're going to be better off. And I'll say more. When you take the standardized exam like SAT, for college and things, what college you want to go into, and they want to look at your SAT score. Guess what? These equation will be involved in the SAT problems. You need to use to solve them. Yeah. So the student who have these down by that time, normally they all do, and you're going to be included. Yes, for sure. But the sooner, the better you're going to be going through your high school smoothly. The rest of the school year smoothly, because it comes back around all the time. Calculus, pre-calculus, algebra 2, geometry even. Yeah, even geometry, which you're going to have to deal with. Yeah, right? Yeah, you are going to do geometry next, right? Yep. So you're going to be doing this again. All of this. Not as heavily as Algebra 2, pre-calculus, and calculus. But you are going to be practicing this again, because it's still considered to be part of geometry. Geometry. Okay, wait. So let me see. I want to do 16 now. I know that we're going ahead. But I wanted to be like looking at it, because since this is going to be the lengthiest one process, like 16 to 21. That's it. It's going to be the lengthiest. I want to show it to you so you don't kind of be afraid of, seeing it. And your teacher will go over this, but I don't mind. I actually like to go over it first, because I got the chance to do that. All right. So take a look, okay? What you're going to do is this. You're going to use two formulas. One, let me ask you, which one do you like best? The ones go first or the two go first?
I think the ones where the ones go first.
Yeah, because I think, remember, you were actually using the ones always, like online.
Yeah.
So don't forget though. I want to point out that this is actually more common in textbook, the twos. Okay, it doesn't matter. What will happen is that if there were negatives and things, like everything is going to work itself out. It will be equivalent when you actually use one or the other. You could practice by testing them out. You'll see that they're going to be giving you the same answer for the slope. Okay, doesn't matter what order, but you must make sure if you go with the ones, you have to do the y1 and x1 first. You can't switch x2 and y minus x1 on the bottom. It has to be exactly that order. Ones, 1 2 1 2, 2 1 2 1. Okay, so let's use this formula. I'll write it out again for exposure for you to see. x2, and then you're going to use this for sure, not ymx plus b. But your teacher will have you use this one for 16 to 21. That's why you're skipping that one section. Is that okay? You see it? So this will be the next thing that you're going to be doing. So let's have a look. I'll just do one. That's it for exposure, for you to see. I don't want you to be afraid of it when you're actually being lectured on it. All right, I'll do 16. And I'll write the original, but kind of stay with me here a second, and you'll see that it's not that bad. So that means this will be your x1, y1, x2, y2. Is that okay? So here we go. But it doesn't matter which one you want to plug in first, but normally they go with this one first. So here we go. We're going to get your m right here. and plug it in, but we need to get the m. Your x1, y1 is already here. You see it? You can just plug them in whenever you want, but most often they will do the m first. So here we go. So y2 minus y1. I'm sorry, y1, because I'm used to the y2, the twos first. Okay, y1 minus y2. Here's go. Negative 2 minus 3. This minus is in the formula, okay? Like, okay? The minus is in the formula. All over. You know this. We were doing this online. And the x1, 9, minus x2, 4. Okay, so we'll crank this out. The top is negative 5 over positive 5. Look at that. They made this so that it's kind of nice when you simplify it. So it's negative 1. So your m is negative 1 so far. Okay, we're pretty much done. So we're going to plug in everything. Your y1 right here. Your x1 is there too. So it's negative 2 minus negative 2. Don't forget, that's in the formula. This minus is from the formula. Okay, equals m, which is negative 1, parenthesis, x, stay x. You'll be saving those x when you're not going to touch the x and the y when you use the point slope. Point slope, that's my PT / SLOPE, sorry. Okay, and then minus x1, which is 9. There it is, you're done. But you just clean it up, and most often they want you to solve for y, to look like y mixed with b in the end. It doesn't have to. If you on SAT, you multiple choice. They're probably going to have it in this form. Well, a little bit of simplifying the two signs here. So here I will be plus 2 equals, distribute the negative 1, it'll be minus x plus 9. And almost done, subtract both sides by 2. Sometimes you don't teach, it doesn't care if you do this or not. But sometimes they will tell, hey, rewrite your answer as your slope-intercept or solve for y in the end. But anyway, here's your final answer. Is that okay? And look, you see how long this is? Yeah. So that's why you're skipping 16 to 21 for now. But you're well going to be coming back to them using these two formulas. I'm pretty sure, like 95, 99% sure. Because if you're going to use y mx plus b, it will be awkward for 16. Yeah, it'll be longer than you need to. Yeah, it'll be longer than you need to do it. So this is still it's still not bad because you basically solving for m, then substitute. That's it. Substitute everything that you have, right? You basically solve for the slope, and that's it. And then plug in everything you need, and then clean it up. While if you use y-mx plus b, you got to go back and forth, solve for b and all that all over again. So it's going to be longer technically. Yeah, if you want to see it, but I think you don't have to worry about that. Your teacher will have you use this too. Pretty sure. All right. Now, hey, last week, did you have a test or quiz or anything before Thanksgiving break? Do you remember? It's been a while. It's been a while.
I think we had a test on Friday.
Before Thanksgiving, right?
Yeah.
Did you get the test score? Did you get your test back?
No.
How did you?
We haven't gotten it.
I see. How did you feel you did?
I felt good.
Okay. If anything, you can share that with me. Okay. Yeah, I don't mind go over your work. If there's any, red marks, Yeah.
Okay.
So, when will you get the test back, or when will we know?
I don't know. Maybe tomorrow.
Okay. Now, okay. So, if anything, yeah, let me know. Okay. Now, one last one. One last one. Take a look at number 18. Look at number 18, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So let me write on number 18. What's up with 18? Well, there's a y-intercept. Right there, you see it? There's a y-intercept. Do you recognize it? 0, negative 7. Yeah, you gotta have 0 for x, okay? So this is y-intercept. But let me copy everything. And then we'll call it, okay? This is y-intercept. So this is your y-intercept. Let me write it neat, okay? Sorry. So this is your y-intercept. But the other one is not, number 18. 5, 3. Okay, like that. Now, you still need to find the slope, but we're going to go ahead and use this one after, because you have this. Is that okay? Yeah, no kidding, dude. So we're going to use that. But we're not going to use this one. We're going to use that one instead, but I'll write it anyway for exposure. So this is, I'm not going to box that. So we're going to use this in place because of this right here. But let's do the M. Let's practice your M. So y1 minus y2. y1 minus y2 is 3 minus negative 7. You okay? Let me label them 1s and 2. Okay, so 3 minus negative 7, negative 5 minus 0. So let me clean this up. That's going to be 10 on top. 3 minus 7, 3 minus negative 7. That's 10, negative 5. So the answer is negative 2. Double check my work. Okay? Now, negative 2, yeah. So if I double tap, it's going to undo. So we're going to use this with this. So we go. Y equals M is negative 2. X, what is your B? What is your B?
Uh,
You want to guess it? Y-intercept. Your B is y-intercept, right? You remember? Your teacher mentioned that. So y-intercept, there's only one number in there. You don't need 0. So it's what?
so it's negative 7.
Negative 7. Yeah, so your B will not include the 0. It's just the y value, but you still have to recognize it as y-intercept. Is that okay? So it'll be minus 7. So this is the answer. You see how fast this can be done? Imagine you go through this whole thing like I did up here. You don't have to. You see that? That's what's so special about it. But I like to do it. But wait, then I'll erase it immediately after, just to confirm it. Have a look, okay? And then we'll call it. Have a look. So I did use this for fast answer, okay? But I'm now going to use this. All right, have a look. So y minus y1, I'm going here, okay? Right there. So y1 is 3. M, we know M. We got M from here. Don't forget, we solved for it. Negative 2. X stays X. Your X1 is negative 5. Like this. So far, okay? I know.
Yeah.
We'll call it, okay? All right, continue. Distribute. Oh, actually, let me clean it up first. So it's 2x plus 5. Y minus 3 on this side. I hope you're okay with that.
Yeah.
Distribute. Negative 2x minus 10. Negative 2 times 5 is negative 10. And then 7 like that. So far, okay? Now, this is magic here. Just kind of stay with me. It's going to be magic here because you're going to appreciate what I just did before this. Look. And look at all this work and look at the answer. It's still the same answer. Look at that. I skip all of this here. You see that? That is why if you do recognize a y-intercept as a point, it's an advantage for you to speed things up immediately for any formula that you're going to want to use. But don't forget the 16 to 21 will highly likely be you're going to be asked to use point slope and the slope, of course. Yeah. But you could incorporate what you were working on 10 to 15, y equals mx plus b. Is that okay? Right? Yeah. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that. I'm sure you will come across this. Oh, what do you mean about the test problem? This is the test problem, the one that has the y-intercept in it. The one I made up here is a test problem. They always give it 99% of the time. So this is my prediction. I mean, I'm not perfect. Yeah, I'm not God. I would know it for sure. But the thing is that 99% or 90% of the time, you will get a what do you call it? Y-intercept as a point. But not many students recognize it. Therefore, they're going to go through the whole process, which is fine as long as you do it correctly. but I wanted to show it to you. Your teacher won't mind you skipping it because the label says so. Your B is your y-intercept. Get it? You already got your M. They gave it to you. And this is y-intercept. You've always known that. I'm pretty sure your teacher went over this. I'm like sure, but many times you and your classmate, it might just go over your guys' head. Is that okay? You know what I'm saying? Because you plot it, you'll know it's y-intercept on the y-axis. Get it? This point is going to be 0, 7, that point. That's y-intercept. Sometimes your teacher may not mention it, but you're still supposed to actually use what you know. Okay? So anyway, all right, we'll call it. All right, Alex.